Can you clap for me? I just needed one for the thing. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Gavin, aka Gavo, aka whatever you're gonna call me. This is the express segment of the Paid and Exposure podcast. So, you've already seen the intro. You need to go listen to the podcast right now. It is on Anchor. Go check it out. We got a special guest. What's going on, bro?
What's happening? What's going on?
What's your name?
Ted Wimbush.
Where you from?
I'm from VA.
And what you shoot with?
I shoot with a 5D Mark III.
Amazing. So, first of all, let's go back because you ain't started with a Canon.
Nope.
What you started with?
I started with Sony.
And you made a switch to
Nikon.
And then you made another switch to Sony.
To Canon.
Why all the switches?
I just, as I started shooting more, started seeing differences in my pictures, the way I wanted to edit.
Yeah.
Canon ended up having the best skin tones for me.
And it still does. To me, I feel like it still does.
Yeah, it's up there.
How do you describe your style?
Style is a line between not classy and not raunchy.
Okay.
So it's an edginess in it.
And you do mostly boudoir.
Mostly boudoir, 80%.
Why that?
It's just more easier for me. I try to shoot fashion sometimes, and it's not my style.
It's not just
yeah. It's just easy for me. I like to pay attention to details. I like to focus in on the subject and instead of focusing in on clothes.
So we had a discussion about, before we get back into your style, we had a discussion about models being unsafe.
Yep.
Crazy photographers, the creep photographers. So we had a situation in Charlotte. There was a situation with Marcus Hyde in LA. What is some things that you do to keep yourself, to keep yourself not necessarily safe, but to make sure everything goes right on your session?
Precautionary measures and always having a strong line of communication. Always communicate with the models before shoots. Communicate with them after shoots, and make sure that they feel comfortable, on set. That's like the biggest thing, is communication, breaking that ice. Once you break that ice, you're good.
All right, we back. For anybody who's probably listening and probably don't know what the hell just happened, this is why we can't have these hood podcasts, and I need a whole producer to do all this. But anyway, back to the original question. The question was, how do you feel like models get into these situations where they are uncomfortable?
No.
And what measures can they take to make sure they are comfortable?
Reasons why I can say it's not really preventable, because it's just, we live in a crazy world. But there is precautionary measures to take. You should be able to, pay attention to red flags, pay attention to, communication skills of the photographer. Make sure they're not flirting with you before you get to the shoot.
Absolutely.
Like those type, even for photographers too. Like, you never know what a model's intention is for the shoot. That could be to piss off somebody that might be in the other room.
Yeah.
While you're shooting them, or they could be pulling up at any moment because they're arguing within y'all shooting. So, I think just precautionary measures, making sure everything is good, reassuring that everything is good right before you're pulling up the shoots. Bringing a friend with you if you're a model, bringing a friend with you if you don't feel completely comfortable.
Absolutely.
But make sure that friend is supportive. Especially if you're doing boudoir type of content. I've had situations where they'll bring a friend and that friend actually made them uncomfortable. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, we did. How many people do you allow in your shoots? Like, if a girl say, hey, I want to bring a friend, how many friends do you allow?
I usually allow one.
Okay.
Just one. Like, just bring one person. Because once you add more and more people, it just kind of... I want us to be here with it.
Yeah.
I want us to be here. I don't want to, have an entourage in the background, distracting the shots.
And then what happens? Your shoot that could have took an hour takes 3 hours.
Oh my god!
That's a good question. Do you ever get like photography fatigue during a shoot? And if so, how long do it usually take? For me, it's after an hour, I'm just mentally, I'm like, all right. Unless we keep changing locations, but you just get tired. Like an hour and a half, I'm like, all right, I'm good here.
Yeah.
What about it for you?
For me, probably about an hour and a half. And I try to prepare for shoots.
Mm-hmm.
So I drop a mood board with poses and all that stuff before I even get there. So I'm not using all of my energy.
Yeah.
I'm just using this perfect balance so I can just, get the shots out and get them out the way.
Dope. That makes sense. All right, man. So let's talk about elevation, because I remember you. I guess the first time I recognized that you were actually a person and not some machine out there is when you were shooting in a club.
Mm-hmm.
You don't shoot in a club now, I assume.
No, it's all over for the club.
You can't get you out in the club.
Can't get me in the club unless the budget is sky
high.
Budget got to be crazy.
So
to the gods.
what happens? Explain about how people elevate and how you elevated and you had to deal with losing clients.
Elevation is a big thing. You'll find yourself as an amateur photographer when you're first starting out. You want to, of course, you want to network. Back then, for me, it was being in the club, going to every party, talking to people in the club, over drinks, of course, having a fun experience with the client before I even shot with them. That was pretty big. The next day, like you said, people were posting. It was going crazy. Like, Ted Wimbush took this. He's going to be there next weekend taking dope shots again, blah, blah. So that's how my name kind of got out. But as far as elevating and actually being able to raise your prices and stuff like that, once you do get to a certain level, I think you have to kind of bite the bullet that you're going to lose clients and you're going to lose some form of consistency. But to get that consistency back, you just have to be consistent with creating content. So I'll find me, when I raised my prices, I had to find me 3 girls that I would shoot for free, 3 or 4 girls I would shoot for free, to be able to show that I dug deeper into my craft in order for me to raise my prices.
Dope. So now you talked about your benefit of raising prices. We talked about this off air. It's like once you did that, your clientele expanded.
Yeah.
And you brought up a good point, and you can kind of expand on this. You said your clientele expanded, your prices expanded, but also your talent and your time. So, like now, is your process longer? Is it faster when you return pictures, or the way you do business is different, or
way faster? I'm able
Really?
to have like a crazy turnaround time. Like
Amazing.
probably here lately, it's been like 2 or 3 days because
That's dope.
if I charge a certain amount, I don't have to shoot so much.
Yeah.
And give or take, you just get crazy booked out. Like
Yeah.
I ended up getting crazy booked out before I left, but for me, I just had to form some type of routine, and
Yeah.
like once you do that, you're waking up at a certain time, you're editing between these time frames, you're shooting between these time frames, you're spending time with your loved ones between this time frame.
Yeah.
You're able to get a lot more stuff done. Back then, when I first started, I was just kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
I might shoot today and edit 2 days from now. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But back like now, if I shoot that day, I'm gonna go ahead and get the pictures on my computer.
Yeah.
Start culling, going through images, selecting which ones I want to use.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I'll actually go in and start editing and doing like my retouch processes and stuff.
Dope. So that's a whole nother question. This is gonna make this too long. Let's let's do this. So you talked about your process. Now, what is one piece of advice you would give photographers when they are shooting? Whether it's a style, whether it's a pointer, something for them to remember.
Mm-hmm.
What one piece of shooting advice would you give photographers?
Shooting advice would be to not pay too much attention to the technical part of it.
Okay.
I feel like for me, a lot of people would know this, but for me, I shoot aperture priority majority of my shots.
Okay.
Being that I know, like I've kind of adjusted my style to fit for that.
Yeah.
Cause shooting for manual, it's just a lot of technical stuff that can get in the way of your shot. You're switching camera settings as the sun changes.
Yeah.
And I would rather my camera just
Adjust
boom, boom, boom,
to
boom, and then I
Okay.
edit it however I want to edit it, and then be in the game.
Why do you shoot underexposed versus over or right at?
Deeper colors. I like a lot of colors.
Yeah.
I like to be able to pull that shadow detail up out of my pictures.
Yeah.
Shooting overexposed, you'll kind of wash out your colors a little bit.
Yeah.
Of course, you'll wash out the sky if you're shooting on a bright day. Underexposed, you just get a lot more quality in your shots than shooting like a perfectly exposed shot.
Dope.
So
before we close this out, we always we go through an exposure story.
Whew.
And we kind of let people tell what was their exposure story, or when somebody tried to pay them an exposure. What's yours?
I've had a couple.
Okay.
I've had a lot. But more recent, at the time I'm in my career now, it's like models are offering to fly you out to a beautiful location, all inclusive, but they're not willing to give you your rate when you get there. So like that's probably the biggest like exposure thing right now.
And why don't you like that? Because somebody's listening right now. They be like, wait a second, somebody gonna fly me out to take pictures.
Yeah.
I would jump on it. But why didn't you jump on it? What's your reason?
I got bills.
Yeah.
Like I got I got bills. I mean, it's like I mean, going on a vacation is cool, but I would rather have the budget to do that on my own. So if I'm pricing for a shoot out the country, I would rather charge that rate within the price I'm already charging for the photos.
Absolutely.
And that way, you know, everything's taken care of. Like, I got responsibilities. I got family. I got things to do.
You got bills, man. You're trying to move. You moving?
Yep, moving to Arizona.
We want to tell you we love that you was here. Congratulations. Kill it out there.
I appreciate it.
Be safe.
Man. Yes.
Stay hydrated because it's going to be hot.
120 on the average.
That's disgusting. Tell everybody where they can follow you at.
You can follow me at Ted Wimbush. That's TEDWIM, as in your mom, BUSH.
That is actually funny. Thank you, bruh, and we're going to holler at you next time, all right?
All right, man. Appreciate you for having me.
Ain't no problem.